This is Art Television.
A very good morning, Sri Lanka. You are tuning to Wake Up with Art. My name is Dhananath Fernando, joining you live from our Palagoda studio. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing, said Walt Disney. Today is 26th of January 2018, and a day like today in 1926, John Logie Baird gives the first public demonstration of television in his laboratory in London. With that thought, we are ready to bring you the top headlines across all the newspapers. If you look at the today headlines, mainly most of the newspapers focuses on His Excellency the President's statement on challenging the Parliament to debate the bond report before the elections. That's the top headline in most of the newspapers. Also, the press conference held by the former central bank Governor Ajit Nivard Cabral also takes place in the front pages in most of the headlines, in most of the newspapers. With that, let's zoom in for the newspapers, starting from Ceylon Today. In the Ceylon Today headline reports, clash erupts at WUA PC, 2 UNP councillors hospitalised, CWC supporters blamed, reported by Pial Kitsiri. In this report mentioned in the Ceylon Today's, a tense situation which erupted near the WUA Provincial Council premises last morning later escalated into a clash between two groups. The UNP Provincial Councillors Arungam Ganeshamurthy and Upali Senaratna sustained injuries and were admitted to the Badulla Hospital. That was the headline from the Ceylon Today. Bringing your attention for the headlines in Daily Mirror. In the Daily Mirror reports, VIP robbers delayed Parliament debate, says President, challenges to hold debate before LG polls. Reported by Mudita Dayananda, while claiming that coalition of VIP robbers, both in the government and the opposition, had managed to delay the debate on the Bond Commission report and the Pre-CFAC report, President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday challenging them to hold the debate on the Bond Commission and Pre-CFAC report before February 10th, prior to the local government elections. That's the headline from Daily Mirror. Daily FT headlines today, again on the same theme. Sirisena challenges Parliament to debate Bond report before elections. President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday threw down the government in Parliament, challenging it to debate the bond report before the pending local government elections and reiterating his commitment to punish any wrongdoers found guilty of bond irregularities. Moving your attention for the headlines in the Island newspaper. In the Island, they focuses about the press conference held by former Central Bank Governor Ajit Nivard Cabral. Ex-CBSL chief finds gaping holes in bond probe report, reported by Shamindra Ferdinando. Former Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka Ajit Nivard Cabral and former Chairman Colombo Stock Exchange Dr. Nalaka Goduheva yesterday alleged that there were glaring omissions and gaping holes in the recommendations made by the Presidential Bond Probe Commission in its report, asserting that recommendations didn't reflect what had actually transpired during the Commission proceedings, the duo said yesterday. That was the headlines from the Island newspaper. The last English newspaper today is the Daily News newspaper that reports about the port city to get going by June. We'll kickstart with work on International Financial Centre. President to declare Port City part of Sri Lanka in Gazette issue. In this report says work on the International Financial Centre of Sri Lanka that will kickstart operations in the Colombo Port City will commence in the June this year, Megapolis and Western Development Minister Partly Champika Ranawaka said yesterday. We are bringing your attention for some of the Sinhala newspapers as well, starting with the Lankadeepa newspaper. Lankadeepa headlines. දෙපැත්තේම ප්‍රභූහොරු බැඳුම් කර දූෂණ විවාදය කල්දා ගත්තා. පුළුවන් නම් ඡන්දයට කලින් තියන්න ජනපතිගෙන් අභියෝගයක්. දූෂිත ප්‍රභූන්ගේ සන්ධානය එකතු වෙලා සාකච්ඡා කරලා බැඳුම් කරහා බරපතල වංචා විමර්ශන කොමිසම් සභා වාර්තා විවාදය මැතිවරණයෙන් පසුවට කල්දා ගත්තා. පුළුවන් නම් පෙබරවාරි 10 වෙනිදාට පෙර මේ වාර්තා දෙකම විවාදයට ගන්න කියා මම අභියෝග කරනවා. මම නෙවෙයි අභියෝග කරන්නේ ජනාධිපති මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මහතා ඊයේ පානදුරේ පැවති රැස්වීමකදී එලෙස ආණ්ඩු පක්ෂයටත් විපක්ෂයටත් අභියෝග කළ බවයි වාර්තා කරන්නේ අද ලංකාදීප පුවත්පත. අද මෞබිම පුවත්පතේ ප්‍රධාන සිරස්තලය එයත් බැඳුම් කර වාර්තාව පිළිබඳ ජනාධිපතිගේ අභියෝගයමයි. පුළුවන් නම් ඡන්දයට කලින් බැඳුම් කර විවාදය තියන්න ජනපති අභියෝග කරයි. ඒ තමයි මෞබිම පුවත්පතේ ප්‍රධාන සිරස්තලය. දිනමින පුවත්පත වාර්තා කරන්නේ මංගල සමරවීර මහතාගේ ප්‍රකාශය අද දිනේදී ප්‍රධාන සිරස්තලයේ විදියට ජනතාව තීරණය කළ යුතුයි. ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය නිදහස ශක්තිමත් කරනවාද දූෂණයට භීෂණයට යලි හැරෙනවාද ජනතාව තීරණය කළ යුතු බවයි මංගල සමරවීර මහතා ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නේ. සුදුවෑන් ග්‍රීසියක් නැහැ. ආණ්ඩුව විවේචනය කළාට හිරේ දාන්නේ නැහැ. මාධ්‍යවේදීන් ඝාතනය කරන්නේවත් පැහැරගෙන යන්නේවත් නැහැ. ඒ තමයි මංගල සමරවීර මහතාගේ ප්‍රකාශය. එතුමා ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නේ ගත වුණු වසර 3දී රටේ ක්‍රමිකව ගොඩනැගුණු ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය සහ නිදහස ශක්තිමත් කිරීම උදෙසා ඉදිරියට ගමන් කරනවාද නැතිනම් මේ මායිතීන් බිඳ දබා ගනිමින් දූෂණය සහ භීෂණය වෙත ආපසු හැරෙනවාද යන්න ජනතාව තීරණය කළ යුතු බව මුදල් සහ ජනමාධ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය මංගල සමරවීර මහතා ප්‍රකාශ කළ බවයි සඳහන් කරන්නේ දිනවින පුවත්පත. With that, we are bringing your attention for some of the sub-headlines as well from the national newspapers. We would like to bring your attention starting from the Island newspaper sub-headlines. In the Island newspaper sub-headline says, GMOA sweep polls reported by Dilanthi Jayamanna. In this report says 4 members of the Government Medical Officers Association known as GMOA has won elections to 4 vacant positions in Sri Lanka Medical Council for graduate doctors. That's a sub-headline from the Island newspaper. Also in the Island newspaper, in their image report shows the police disperse anti-Saitam protesters, and they show in a picture a monk injured in a police crackdown on a protest march against the Saitam near Kolpiti junction yesterday evening being removed to safety. Police used tear gas and water cannon to disperse a group of undergraduates who tried to march towards temple trees. That was the image report or the photography report by the Island. We should also like to remind those protesters. Now the Saitam issue has been discussed for months and months, and I think for years, but however a proper solution has not been given according to them. But however, the protesters and the government officials and the politicians should understand it is the general public who go with a lot of inconvenience due to this protest. And yesterday we saw the entire area of the Kolpiti junction being closed and the roads were blocked, and people had many inconvenience getting access to trains, getting access to the buses. And it was also conducted, this protest, at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, which is the prime time where people try to get back to their homes. So protesters and the governments, please, this is your attention. Take necessary actions. It's the general public, the taxpayers' money is being wasted on this protest. With that, we are taking a short commercial break. Stay tuned with us. This is your favorite morning TV program, Wake Up With Art.
when parents say something, we say no. But when you play cricket, when the umpire says up, go. When you play football, one whistle, referee stop, we stop. Sports help me to become disciplined. A lot of parents don't realize that. Today, younger children, they are with the books. And I've seen a lot of children, today come to university, they cannot face the society. When you buy a high-end clothes, you should know how to use it. These are very, very sensitive fabric, very fine fabric. It's not tag, label, ambience, no. The product must fit, people must use it, they must say, wow, I wore it, fantastic. Don't wear imitation and say, you wear something original, something to suit your budget, rather than trying to buy imitation and say, no, I'm wearing, this is original. When you have everything, you have to give back. When you are successful, you have to give back.
Welcome back. This is your favorite morning TV program, Wake Up with Art. And for those who just joined, we brought you the headlines of the national newspapers, and now we are bringing you the sub-headlines in the front pages. And we would like to start with the Daily Mirror sub-headlines. In the Daily Mirror reports, be long-sighted and clear-headed at LG polls, says Finance Minister Mangala Samaravira. Finance Minister Mangala Samaravira yesterday said he believed that it is important to be long-sighted and clear-headed about the monumental choice facing all Sri Lankans at the upcoming local government elections. In another sub-headline in the Daily Mirror reports, the statement by Partli Champika Ranawaka, President to declare reclaimed land as Sri Lankan territory. President Maithripala Sirisena will declare the 269 acres of reclaimed land at Port City as the territory of Sri Lanka in March after the necessary legal framework is passed in Parliament, Megapolis and Western Development Minister Partli Champika Ranawaka said. And also in another report, this is not of course good news for the taxpayers and the general citizens. If government fails to respond, GMOA warns of countrywide strike on January 30th. According to this report, the Government Medical Officers Association yesterday warned it would resort to a countrywide work stoppage on Tuesday if the government fails to provide a reasonable solution to their issues in the coming days. Also, what we see is even yesterday at public space, the former MP Lal Kant said, when there's an imbalance in the political arena, people try to push through more strikes and get their rights on stage. So we feel even the GMOA is trying to go for a strike and get their demands heard to the government. So however, please make a note of this. GMOA warns a strike on 30th of January. With that, we are bringing you some more sub-headlines from Daily FT as well. In the Daily FT says, Sri Lanka-Indonesia MAL FTA. According to this report, President Maithripala Sirisena and his Indonesian counterpart, President Joko Widodo, yesterday had a wide-ranging discussions on economic and security engagement, including possible investments in apparel, medical and railway equipment manufacture, and formulating a free trade agreement between the two countries. That's a sub-headline from the Daily FT. Also, Daily FT reports President to vest 20 hectares of Port City with UDA in March. And also, in another sub-headline reports, Global Rubber Industries opens advanced specialty tire factory with $40 million investments. Those were the sub-headlines from the Daily FT. Bringing your attention for some of the sub-headlines from Ceylon Today as well. In the Ceylon Today, Adams Peak new footprints, no archaeological value, says DGA. According to this report, toe engravings carved into stone. The Department of Archaeology says that the supposed set of footprints found close to Adams Peak have no archaeological value. Director General of Archaeology Professor P.B. Madavala noted that the initial investigation into the discovery concluded by the Department Central Province Office had revealed that certain engravings of the supposed footprints have been carved into the rock recently. In another sub-headline in the Ceylon Today reports, DA Rajapaksa M&M case, AG says Gota committed offences under Penal Code and offences against the PP Act. According to this report, the Attorney General has claimed that former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa and 6 others had committed offences described under the Offences Against Public Property Act and the Penal Code by misappropriating rupees 90 million through the construction of the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial and Museum in Weerakatiya. The police financial crimes investigation told the Colombo Additional Magistrate yesterday. Also in another sub-headline in Ceylon Today reports, 2 arrested with ballot papers. 2 persons were arrested in Mullaitivu yesterday for the illegal possession of 288 official ballot papers. In another sub-headline also reports in Ceylon Today, Gazette to be issued tomorrow on minimum standard for medical education by Kaushi reported to Ceylon Today. According to this report, the Gazette on minimum standard for medical education and clinical training will be issued tomorrow, the Government Information Department reported yesterday. In the island sub-headlines, basically again reports about the 400 billion loss. Cabral says the Bond Commission report not the source, reported by Shamindra Ferdinando, dismissing a government claim that the state had suffered a loss up to 4,000 billion due to irregularities in the bond market during his tenure. Governor of the Central Bank Ajit Niwad Cabral yesterday said the President administration was using tentative assertion by the Bond Commission to selling mud at him. That was the sub-headlines from the Island newspaper. Bringing you more sub-headlines from the Daily News as well. In the Daily News, in their photography report shows Honorable Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Indonesian President Joko Widodo, who was on a 2-day official visit to the country in their meeting at the Temple Trees yesterday. That was the photography and the image report at the Daily News. And also Daily News reports on another sub-headline, President throws challenge to debate reports before LG polls. Bringing your attention to some of the sub-headlines from the Sinhala newspapers as well. In the Sinhala newspapers, ජනාධිපති කොමිසම හමුවේ රවි හොරෙක් වී හමාරයි. ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයයි කියන්නේ හිටපු මුදල් අමාත්‍ය රවි කරුණානායක මහතා ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණ විනිසුරුවරුන් සහිත ජනාධිපති කොමිසමක් ඉදිරියේ බොරුකාරයෙකු සහ වංචාකාරයෙකු වී ඇති නිසා ඔහු කරන ප්‍රකාශ 7-5කටවත් විශ්වාස කළ නොහැකි බව ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය අවධාරණය කරනවා. ඒ වගේම රජයේ වෛද්‍ය නිලධාරීන්ගේ සංගමය 30 වනිදා දීප ව්‍යාප්ත වැඩ වර්ජනයකට යොමු වන බවයි වාර්තා කරන්නේ මෞබිම පුවත්පත. ඒ වගේම වාර්තා වෙනවා තොණ්ඩමන් දෙමළ අධ්‍යාපන ඇමති කිරීම ව්‍යවස්ථාවට පටහැනි. පළාත් සභා මන්ත්‍රී සචිත්තනාදන් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නේ සෙන්දිල් තොණ්ඩමන් මහතාව ඌව පළාත් දෙමළ අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යවරයා ලෙස පත් කිරීම ආණ්ඩු ක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ 13 වනි සංශෝධනයට පටහැනි ක්‍රියාවක් බව ඌව පළාත් සභා මන්ත්‍රී සචිත්තනාදන් මහතා ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. With that, we are again taking a break from you. Grab your coffee and brush your teeth. Stay tuned with us. We will be right back after this short commercial break.
Sometimes healthcare seems like a luxury. It's a great relief that the UNP reduced the prices of 48 essential medicines by 90%. These policies must continue. It is my responsibility to strengthen the UNP government.
Vote for the UNP. Our story is to be continued. United National Party.
රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා දිනුවා නම් මම නම් ලංකාවේ ඉන්නේ මේ සෑහෙන කාලයකටම පිටරට යන්න කියලා මම හිතන් හිටියේ
ආණ්ඩු මාරු කිරීම තරම් සරල දෙයක් නෙවෙයි සමාජ පරිවර්තනයක් කරනවා.
සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාව හිතනවා මේ වෙන් කරලා තියෙන අධ්‍යාපනයේට ඇටි හැලෙන්න බලු පැලෙන්න
විපක්ෂ හොල්මන් අය තමයි ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නේ.
මේ රටේ යාපාලනයේ නිර්මාණය කරපු මිනිස්සුන්ගේ අපේක්ෂා ඉෂ්ට වෙලා නැහැ. තොරතුරු කියන දේ එක මහජන දේපලක්.
Welcome back. This is your favorite morning TV program, Wake Up with Art. For those who just joined, we brought you the headlines and the sub-headlines of the national newspapers, and now we are bringing your attention for the financial and the world news reported in today national newspapers. So starting with the financial review from the Island newspaper, Fitch affirms Sri Lankan Airlines government guaranteed bonds at B+. Fitch Ratings has affirmed Sri Lankan Airlines Limited US dollar dominated government guaranteed bonds at B+, reported in the financial review of the Island. And also in another sub-headline in the financial review of the Island newspaper reports, FTA with Singapore can act as Sri Lanka's point of entry into diverse ASEAN market, says Mr. Iswaran. Mr. Iswaran is the trade minister for Singapore, and it reports the much touted and freshly signed free trade agreement between Sri Lanka and Singapore gives Sri Lankan business an opportunity to access not just Singaporean markets but the larger ASEAN markets, especially in the e-commerce platform, highlighted Singapore's Minister of Trade and Industry, S. Iswaran. Also bringing your attention to some of the sub-headlines in the supplement today in the Island newspaper. And today is a special day for India as well, because India celebrates its 69th Republic Day in India. So there's a message reported from on the occasion of India's 69th Republic Day by the High Commissioner of India, His Excellency Taranjit Singh Sandhu, for the 69th Republic Day of India. So that was the sub-headlines and the main headlines on the financial review. Bringing your attention to Mirror Business as well. In the Mirror Business reports today, government has no intention to bring bond rogues to book, says Cabral, reported by Lahiru Potmula. According to this report, former Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwat Cabral said yesterday the government was taking extreme measures to control the damage caused by the central bank bond scam instead of taking action to bring the culprits to book. That was the report by the Mirror Business. Also in another sub-headline in the Mirror Business says, high-profile Japanese business delegation meets President. A group of representatives of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and the Industry Economic Mission, who visited Sri Lanka to explore new business and investment opportunities, to met with President Maithripala Sirisena at the President's official residence, Colombo, yesterday. However, what we need to remember is, according to the government's 2025 plan, Sri Lanka needs to boost up our FDI and our exports. However, recently it was reported that exports were boomed up to about 11.4 billion. But however, the central bank governor said it is not an achievement that we should be very proud of, because our potential is much higher. And with that, Sri Lanka signed another FTA with Singapore after 10 years. And now Sri Lanka is in discussions for another FTA with Indonesia as well. However, while we try to boost up the economy, it's also important to eradicate the corruption, bring the culprits and the wrongdoers before the law, and the law has to be equal to everyone. With that, I would like to bring your attention for the editorials as well. First, bringing your attention to the editorial of Daily News. Daily News reports about "Lest He Forgets." According to this report or the editorial, it talks about Professor G.L. Piris's recent statement against UNP. According to Daily Mirror editorial, the editor reminds Professor G.L. Piris before he accused the UNP, it was Professor G.L. Piris who was the key person who was behind privatization and also with the constitution when he was in power with the former President Chandrika Bandaranayake Kumaratunga. However, it was basically reported about the recent statement Professor G.L. Piris has made and reminding him of his political stance few years ago and how he twisted or took a U-turn with his new appointment at Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, taking the leadership or the chairmanship at Podujana Peramuna. Bringing your attention to the editorial of the Island as well. Island reports when bad eggs are blue. Actually, in these editorial reports about President claimed about bringing all the wrongdoers before law, but however, according to the Island editorial, Chief Minister of WUA province, though he was released on bail, yet a proper action needs to be taken. He was stripped out from his educational portfolio, but however, people demanded and the politicians of the opposition said that he should also take a leave or should resign from his chief ministerial position. And bringing your attention for some of the sports news as well, in the Island reports, Sri Lanka thrashed Bangladesh to reach tri-nation final. Yesterday we had a wonderful day. Bangladesh, we won against the Bangladesh yesterday, and it was a very low score match. Bangladesh scored only 82 runs and Sri Lanka comfortably achieved 83 marks with loss of no wickets. And so Sri Lanka will be, you can see Sri Lanka playing against Bangladesh in the finals, and Zimbabwe will lose the opportunity to play in the finals with the victory from Sri Lanka yesterday. With that, we bringing you the cartoons from the national newspapers today, starting with the Jeff and Nut. According to the Jeff and Nut cartoon, Jeff says all 4 GMOA members have been elected to the SLMC, and the Nut says so there won't be any difference between GMOA and SLMC. That's the Jeff and Nut cartoon. Let's look at the other cartoons as well. This is the Pankada Ruwindage Saradam cartoon reported from the Lankadeepa newspaper. According to the Lankadeepa newspaper, in the cartoon, මැතිවරණයේදී තුවාල ලැබූ පිළිබඳව තමයි ලංකාදීප පුවත්පත වාර්තා කරන්නේ පංකජ සරදමේ. නිලවරණයේදී තුවාල වුණු දොස්තරලා ඉස්පිරිතාලෙලු. හොඳ වෙලාවට ඉස්පිරිතාල ස්ට්‍රයික් නැත්තේ කියලයි පංකජ රුවින්දගේ සරදම් කාටුනේ වාර්තා කරන්නේ. ඒ වගේම අපි ඔබට අද වැඩසටහන අවසන් කරන්නට රැගෙන එනවා ලංකාදීප පුවත්පතේ සුප්‍රසිද්ධ හැමෝම ආසාවෙන් බලන් ඉන්න තලන්ගේ කවියෙන් තමයි අද අපේ වැඩසටහන අවසන් කරන්නේ. තලන්ගේ කවියට අනුව මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි තලන් අද කවිය කියන්නේ. ඇත එක් පැයක් ශ්‍රී ලංකා එක පැත්තේ නමටය පොහොට්ටුව නායක කමගත්තේ සමාජිකත්වය අදටත් ගෙන නැත්තේ මුළු රට ගොනාටය මේ අන්දා ඇත්තේ. That's all what we have for today from our news desk. I'm Dhananath Fernando signing off from our Paliagoda studio. We wish you a great and a pleasant day as well as a pleasant weekend. Thank you very much. Stay tuned with us also on Monday 6:30 a.m. Have a great day.
me. Click me.
Click me.
Click me. Click me.
Click me.
Click me.
Click me.
Click me. Click me. Click me. Click me. Click me. Click me.
Click me.
Club Swate, your beauty agency.
This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
බැඳීම් එකතු කරන අලුත්ම විදිය සිංගර් විස්ටා ස්මාර්ට් ලෝකයක් තියෙන ටීවී එකක්.
A very good evening and welcome to State of Business, our television's primetime business news bulletin. I'm Madhusha Palakumar. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka and Indonesia agrees to expand economic cooperation, trade and investment. Tea industry shows a positive outlook in 2017. Now the stories in detail. Upon an invitation extended by President Maithripala Sirisena, Indonesian President Joko Widodo visited Sri Lanka on a two-day state visit and met with President Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo yesterday. During the meeting, Indonesian President expressed his willingness to provide technical assistance to Sri Lanka